living frugally and having a low waste lifestyle go together. Sometimes we don't think about it that way, but they absolutely do. Today, I'm going to give you some examples of things that we reuse, we repurpose, and we buy used. And stick around to the end because some of them might surprise you. One of the things that we reuse is this reusable coffee filter. Now, my mother-in-law has one of these and she got this for us for Christmas. And she says that she feels like grounds gets in her coffee, so she doesn't use this. She still buys filters. But we have not had any problem with this. And so we've been able to cut out purchasing coffee filters. One of the other things that we reuse are these solar bulbs, and they've been a wonderful purchase for us. We used to keep a light on in the kitchen because our house is old and you have to walk through the back porch to get to the bathroom. And so we would keep a light on in the kitchen so you wouldn't stub your toe. Now we just turn on one of these in the evening over the kitchen sink and you can walk through until it's time for bed with no electricity being used. I reuse all kinds of old antique type of things as my planters. Here is an old wash tub that I use. I have a green pepper and some of my lettuce in it. I reuse cat litter buckets or buckets that we've been able to save and clean out for plants. A cast iron tub because, as you can tell, I like to decorate with antiques. So that is one of my planters. Again, more buckets, and one more bathtub. If you can tell, this is also a top to a wheelbarrow that I've put dirt in it. I'm using it as a planter. And again, more buckets. I've also used my old milk cans and painted them and used them as planters for flowers. I had another one of these pots, and as you can see, the top is made of plastic, and that piece broke. And so I had another planter that the base broke, and I just took the top off of that and put it on this other one, and now I have a planter for this one. Don't look at the plant, it didn't make it. I also still use my combs and my brushes from high school. And as you can tell, this is one of those old combs like Fonzie had on Happy Days. But this thing works through my thick, wet hair perfectly. I have several of these still floating around and I will not part with them because I'm not even sure if you can get any more. We use our oil lamps instead of buying candles. I save these medicine bags that you can get from the pharmacy, and then I use them after I've dried my seeds to put them in containers and mark them so I know what I have for next year. I save my jars to put my beans, my rice, pasta in and make my own labels. And I save my coffee containers to put things like dried milk, pancake mix, my spice packets that could get a farm mouse in it. I use them to store my bulk spices, my homemade granola, and also to store things in the camper so that we have them when we go camping. I save my scraps and I use them to grow things. This is my celery. I use a can on the stove for my reusable grease. And one of the things I'm most proud of is this broken dresser mirror frame that we used chalkboard paint and made it into a wipe-off board by our freezer to keep track of what's in our freezer. And yes, we ordered something from Amazon, a new crock pot knob. We repair everything we possibly can. And I'm excited about this. We are fixing something so that I don't have to buy a new crock pot. We repair the riding lawnmower and we share this with my son. So we don't even have our own. We bought a new to us RV that was one of our friends. She's had it since it was brand new, so it's one owner. It has about 36,000 miles on it, and it's only been used to take meals to the field. And we use unique things like this to make fences. This is baby bed springs. I use pallets to make a fence, and I use coat hangers to fix the fence. My husband will try to repair anything we can first. He's a master at fixing vacuum cleaners. He'll try to fix my car, our washing machine, basically anything that breaks around here. He will give it a good shot first before we ever ask anyone else to help. We compost our coffee grounds, we compost our eggshells, our banana peels, anything that I can't use for another purpose goes back into the soil to help my plants grow. We save our chicken carcass when we make a whole baked chicken so that I can make chicken broth, and I save the carrot scraps and the celery scraps to go in the broth. And if I don't have time to do it or I don't have room in my freezer, I will freeze that carcass in a bag until I have time to do it later. We use scraps for the animals if we ever have any left over that they can have. And we try to replace everything we can with buying used first. For instance, all of our recliners came from Facebook Marketplace. I make sure that they are a non-smoker. I've bought brand new recliners before, and honestly, they don't last any longer. So I just can't see the point in putting out several $100s for a new recliner when our last two cost us $50 each. We just ordered a weed eater off of eBay that is used. We've never had a weed eater in the country, but my husband wanted to get a weed eater. I don't know when he thinks he's going to have time to do anything more, but we bought it used. I also buy my bras off of eBay. I can get expensive bras like Victoria's Secret, Third Love. You know how expensive bras can be, but you can buy them like new, used on eBay for a fraction of the price. I also just ordered a Roku stick for my laptop, so when we go camping, we will be able to watch TV without purchasing a new TV for the camper. We just recently sold our old camper, which made the purchase price on this one even less, and we got a really good deal. We even purchased, get this, our wedding rings from a pawn shop. And it was my idea because I thought we can get a more expensive wedding ring from a pawn shop than we want to spend the money for. And so I have a wedding ring from a pawn shop, and look how beautiful that is. And it cost me $600. Can you imagine what that would have cost if it was brand new? Some people might say, oh, that brings with it bad luck or a bad omen of some sort, but I believe that you make your own luck where your marriage is concerned. So that is just a fraction of some of the things that we use, reuse, purchase reusable, and repair around this house. The list could go on and on. If any of those surprised you, or if you have any that might surprise us, could you share them in the comments, because I would love to read those. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and if you found any value in this, I would appreciate you subscribing, sharing, or hitting that notification bell so you know when I post a new video. Thanks for watching today.